Hello there, Gemini. Welcome to your love reading today. We're going to take a look at what's blocking you from receiving and experiencing the love that's truly meant for you. Now remember that Spirit is always sending us love, but there's certain things that happen in our lives that block it. So let's find out what that is for you today. Like if you're repeating the same pattern, maybe there's an advice here that Spirit needs to let you know about so you can make a turnaround and change the course of your next relationship. Okay? Now remember, use your very best judgment, your own intuition as to how to process these messages. All right, bottom of the deck, 8 of Cups. Yeah, this is about walking away. So maybe in the last relationship, you walked away or the other person walked away, right? But this can also mean that you have kind of transformed and you've realized, okay, these things don't serve me anymore. This way of thinking, this behavior, this pattern isn't serving me anymore. I'm going to walk away. I'm going to leave it behind because I want something new. This person is leaving what he knows, the 8 of Cups, and just like realize that's not what I want anymore. I want to go over the mountain here and I don't care what the journey is like. I just want something new, right? There's a part here, oh no. So in the past, you're still having to deal here with the person that's lied, cheated, stole, betrayed you, right? And it's weighing very heavily on you, and perhaps that's what caused you or forced you to walk away, right? Get away from it because you were done with the betrayal. You're done with the hurt, right, Gemini? Now here you've got a part of you that's kind of stuck, right? Because you were thinking that your life was stable, that you had such abundance and that everything was so great. And then boom, you had this pulled out from under you. The rug was pulled out from under you, and you learned that perhaps there was dishonesty, lying, cheating, stealing, third-party situation, right? Now subconsciously, you have the tendency for self-sabotage. Right? This is kind of looming in the past. And self-sabotage meaning that it could be behavior, negative physical behavior, where you're not taking care of yourself, or you have an addiction or something like that. But it can be something like negative self-talk and putting yourself down and saying, oh, I deserve to be cheated on because. No one deserves to be lied to, right? Everyone deserves answers. Everybody deserves honesty, right? And it's not fair. Sure, it's not fair that this individual treated you that way, but don't stay here. You have to deal with this self-sabotage, because everything in our subconscious always ends up affecting our life because we never deal with it, right? There's that shadowier side of you. Now, overall here, in your conscious mind, there's an issue here where you're thinking, maybe I didn't give enough. Or maybe, this person, because the King of Cups, the shadowier side of the King of Cups is they withhold emotion, right? They deny their emotions, but know that these people here, this energy is that this individual here is led by his heart, by the experiences and how those experiences affected their next behavior, right? And so they can get triggered. And if they have recollection of the past, right, and and it forces them to think a certain way, and then it forces their hand and it causes them to behave a certain way. But this, this is an emotionally mature individual here, and perhaps there's a part of you that truly, needs to deal with your emotions, really have mastery of your emotions, right? And your conscious mind definitely, can affect, there's dynamics here. There's a part of you that wants to love and lead with love. Kind, loving, balanced, approachable, right? There's a part of you that's like that. But then on your shadowier side, you want to withhold that love, right? Because you've been hurt and you've been betrayed so much that you're just emotionless. You're just going to keep and withhold your love. Yeah, so something here, because of this lie, the betrayal, it really tested your inner strength, your fortitude, your belief, your faith, right? And it really forced you to think, there's other ways to deal with this. And it's been a challenge for you because it's something that's hurt you so terribly. But this situation here, and you may still be dealing with this lie, this betrayal, and it's really forcing you to really draw on your inner strength, right? 3 of Cups, yeah. So in the future here, you have some celebrations, right? But also, this kind of tells me, there was a third-party situation, right? But just to kind of clarify the 7 of Swords, the 3 here, because anytime I see 3, my red flag always pops up, right? Especially when the 7 of Swords comes up. But in the near future here, this can also mean celebration about love and coming together and uniting, right? Just be careful, obviously. Learn from the past, right? Be careful of any third-party situation. So, universe is saying that you need to take the time to heal yourself, to regain your hope, your faith and your belief in yourself and in the universe, that the universe has something really good for you coming. It's just, and you have wish fulfillment here, right? You have wish fulfillment. Everything that you could possibly want and need is coming your way. It's just not necessarily right now, right? So you have to be very patient. And universe is saying those things are not coming your way until you have healed yourself emotionally, physically, spiritually, right? And externally here, you may have some children, right? And there's a part of you here that, you know, there's nostalgia here. If you had a long history with this individual here, right? So if you were married for a long time, there's a part of you that's influencing your next decisions because you're sitting here evaluating and reassessing the situation. Should I stay? Should I go? What should I do? And these things from the past keep you from making that decision. You know, whether you're going to go forward or not, right? Whether you're going to allow new love into your life and to celebrate your life, right? Underneath it all, you want that stability, but you're afraid that you're not going to receive it, right? You can hope and hope and hope for that stable relationship, but you're also fearful of allowing yourself to experience that, because what if you get betrayed again? What if there's a third party situation again, right? So you have that doubt. So the outcome here is a couple things. Now, if this is a third party situation, person, place, or thing, like an individual. So what I mean by person, place, or thing, so it doesn't always necessarily mean another individual. It can be just anything that's taking the attention and love away from your relationship. It can be too much work, right? It could be other friends going out too much and wanting to stay single, right? And celebrate those types of things. Or yeah, it could be another person, right? So what's happening here in the near future is universe is saying you need to heal from the past, and because you're wiser for it, you're going to know the red flags and you're going to know when to walk away. Right? If you don't fix it and you don't learn from your past, this is what you have. You're going to continue to believe that there's this sadness and grief, and then you're going to repeat the pattern and say, why is my life such a mess? I keep repeating myself. So universe is saying turn around and see things differently, right? Use your wisdom and your intuition to know whether or not a third party situation is looming around you, because you're not going to go to this situation ever again, right? You're going to learn from it and you're going to see things from a different perspective. Okay. All right, let's clarify a couple of things here. I'm going to just add more outcomes here. Let's see. Because I don't want you to think that this is, you know, this is your future. This is your outcome. Again, I'm giving you what I see here, that if you don't change and you don't heal yourself, right, this is where you're going to end up. Yeah, Four of Pentacles. So Four of Pentacles, so again, this can mean many things. This could be about stability, sure, of course. But this is also someone that's holding on too tightly. Right? If you're still holding on to the hurt and the pain from the betrayal, from the third party situation, you're not going to progress, right? The only way you can progress is to deal with it and heal, right? Heal from that situation. There's a part of you here with the King of Cups that's very, like I said, very wise emotionally. So you're going to have to connect this to this. So an emotionally secure King of Cups here would know that this is just another experience, right? So you chalk that up, you kind of add that to your experience of feelings, but you know that you're going to survive it, right? You know you're going to be able to get away from it. Why? Because you're the king, right? The king knows everything. The king is the ruler. So you have emotional control over this. You just have to make that choice. And here, the good side about the Four of Pentacles is, yeah, it's about stability. You will get that stability in your life, but first you got to cross this right here. You have to turn around and change your way of thinking, right? Accept that these things have happened, accept the fact that the wine has spilled, and you need to kind of turn around and pick up the two cups there. All right, let's see what else you've got here, Gemini. Yeah, Tower moment. What did you learn from that Tower moment? Because this was so destructive to you, your ego, your spirit. This lie, this betrayal was so destructive, it really brought the house down, right? It really created a shakeup. And how do you prevent this? Well, you learn the lesson. Right? Because the tower happens for us, not to us. It happens to us. No, that's the way of thinking. That's the wrong way of thinking. It happened to you so that you can evolve and learn from it, right? So what lesson did you learn from this situation here so that you can be the better person and evolve from it? Yeah, and there's still so much chaos around you here. This is fighting. Right? Competition, fighting, rivalry, but know that you don't have to participate, because this isn't even real fighting. This is just noise, right? It's a choice. It's a way of thinking. Look at what you've got. When you decide to see things from a different perspective. Open up your heart. It's okay to expect stability in the next relationship, but you need to open your heart, open your mind to something new, because you need to learn the lesson from the heartbreak and the thing that turned your world upside down. There's a part of you that's still dealing with the chaos from it. But know that you don't have to participate, because you need to focus on yourself, not the rivalry. Because once you focus on yourself, you gain knowledge and truth, and you become wiser for it, and therefore you get emotional satisfaction, right? You see how that works? You see that trajectory, and look at what you've got waiting here. Until you heal yourself spiritually, physically, mentally, heal yourself spiritually, physically, mentally, right? See things from a different perspective. This is waiting for you, the lovers. This is soulmate material, right? But the thing that's blocking it is self-sabotage, right? So you got to deal with that self-sabotaging behavior that you have. Whatever it may be, you need to confront it, because what's going to happen is if you don't confront it, you are never going to get the outcome that you want, right? This is looming in the background and you can't push it down. You need to allow this to come out. Okay, Gemini, thank you so much for being here. I hope this made sense for you. I'll talk to you soon. I love you. Bye-bye.